Hello folks, Puffin Loki here with another video. This one is about gods and goddesses. As a god myself, Loki, god of mischief, I have an opinion. I'd like to share it with you. You probably have an opinion too, and maybe more of an opinion than you realize you do. That's what this is all about. In the Loki TV series, it's made very clear how the god Loki can appear in various forms, which you may have experienced or are experiencing now yourself. There's also, therefore, the idea that Loki or a god can become you. They can, what would it be, possess you or transfer the consciousness into you. The Sylvie Loki character in the TV show can enchant people to create their internal world for them. This all sounds very comic booky because we're getting it in a comic book context, but it's not much different than religious concepts you're already familiar with in a society that has a predominantly Christian tradition, where Jesus has told people what they do to anyone, they're doing to him. He could be anyone. Where people find new life in having this God enter them and live in them. So it's not a new concept, just a different God that's being addressed, or that the story is being painted through. And goddesses too. It's rather unfortunate in the show that there's a female version of Loki. There's so far no other goddesses. They make some appearances, I guess, in minor scenes. And rather frustrating that due to circumstances, Loki doesn't have his godlike powers most of the time. And even when he does, he just somehow is too jaded to use them to create a new outfit for Sylvie when she asks for one. I don't know. He hasn't realized yet how much he cares for himself at that time. Point being that to tell a story that we understand in America, we even take a god and take away his godlike powers just to be able to tell the story, to be able to have an overlord, he who remains, watching out, managing everything. And that is the story. That's the way we think about things in life. And as I touched on in previous videos, if you can't conceive what you can't conceive. If you have an idea of God that is false, and that's all you've ever had, you may understand the falsity of that idea of God, but that doesn't mean you're going to realize what's real beyond the false. So if there's a goddess that you're missing out on, then you might not realize that until you've seen through the God. But if you see through the God and say, I've seen through it all, you don't know what you don't know. And the man behind the curtain that they base these ideas of God on is the Wizard of Oz, who has no powers and is a fraud. Except in the books, the wizard gains powers and is not a fraud, and gains his powers in service to a goddess, because when the goddess is discovered and revealed, everything comes into order. And as a god of mischief, you'd think, well, you don't want order, do you? You want goodness. And there is a goodness in certain types of order that include chaos and creativity.